Hello, this is Manesh Patel with the EII Capital Group. This is I think the fourth video of the 6 or 7 videos that we're going to be releasing. The last one we went for the Shikao indicator. The next one we're now going to go for we're actually going to discuss 2 indicators that make up the Kumo Cloud, the Senecal A and the Senecal B, and go for this in great detail. You may listen to this a couple of times because this Kumo Cloud is kind of confusing to some people, but we'll try to make it as easy as possible. Just like normal disclaimers, here's a disclaimer. This is for educational purpose only. All the charts are basically created in Thinkorswim platform, and you can go to www.thinkorswim.com and you can check out their charting and brokerage services. Here are my contact details, and you could go to EII Capital where you could find all the other free resources available to learn Ichimoku. Okay, so let's go straight into the charts. Okay, now from the last video we kind of did these lines. I'm just going to delete them, Thinkorswim, and we're going to now talk about the cloud, the Kumo Cloud. As we talked about before, the Senecal, which is this white line, that basically forms the top of the cloud, and the Senecal B that forms the bottom of the cloud. The formula for Senecal A is basically where you take the Tenkan-sen, which is 9 periods, and average that out with the Kijun-sen, which is basically the 26 periods. So roughly this gives you price action for the last 14 periods. Okay, Senecal B, if you remember from the very first video, this is basically where you're sitting there taking the highest high of the last 52 periods and taking the lowest low of the last 52 periods and then averaging that out. So this basically represents price action for the last 52 periods. Okay, so that's Senecal A right there, the white, and the Senecal B is right there. Now, here's where the tricky part comes into place. This cloud, if you notice, is shifted forward in time 26 periods. Okay, and the reason why is that this cloud right here in the future, this is called the future Kumo Cloud, and this is called the current Kumo Cloud. Okay, now this is going to get confusing. Reason why is the future Kumo Cloud is actually sit there and it's created from the current price action. Okay, so if you look at the Senecal A at this point right here, which is the last point on the chart, 26 periods ahead of time, this right here is based on the current Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen calculations. Okay, if you look at the Senecal A right here, this basically is from the Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen from 26 periods ago. So from price action from 26 periods ago, that's basically that's what these values right here represents. So everything that's currently going on is forming this Kumo future. So the current price action is dictating what's going to happen in the future. Okay? And right now, when you look at price action, what happened 26 days ago is what's dictating what's going to happen right now. Okay? I hope that's clear. If not, go back for the video and look at it. But basically, this future cloud is current calculations of the Senecal A, which is basically the current Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen averaged out together. And this right here is the basically price action of the highest high for the last 52 periods plus the lowest low of the last 52 periods averaged out, and that's the current calculation right there. So what happened was you calculate everything and then you move it forward 26 periods in time. So when you do that, this right here represents price action that occurred 26 periods ago. Okay, now how do you look at all this stuff? Well, it's very simple. We talked about at the very beginning of the Ichimoku video. Instantly, before you do anything with Ichimoku, you could tell the sentiment of this chart. If price is within the cloud, right here, basically we're consolidating. If price was below this current Kumo Cloud right here, we would be bearish. If price was above this Kumo Cloud right here, we would be bullish. So that tells you the 3 sentiments as it is. Okay, for this instrument that we're looking at right now, since we're within the cloud, basically it's consolidating. It's not bullish, neither is it bearish. Okay, so that's the very first thing you look at, which is basically price in relationship to the Kumo Cloud. The second thing you look at is this Kumo future. Okay, now if you notice, the Senecal A is below the Senecal B. When that happens in our charting platform, we color cloud red. That basically means the Kumo future is red. So everything that's going on right now is basically making this Kumo future red. Okay? If Senecal A was above Senecal B, this Kumo future would be this dark yellow type of color, okay, which basically indicates that the cloud is basically bullish. Okay, this right here is the future. That's the current cloud right there. Okay. Um, Last thing we're going to go through is just like with the Shikao, how we put like points here, which met up various peaks. The other key, which represented major support resistance lines, the other key thing to do here is if you get a flat part on a Kumo cloud right here, you notice this flat part right there, you should put a line there. And if you scroll back, you will probably see some Shikao peaks. See that one right there? That's very close to that. You will see some Shikao peaks that intersect that line. The flat part of these Kumo clouds represent a huge major support resistance level. So when you draw a line there and you meet some Shikaos, peaks that meet up that line, that right there is a very, very strong support and resistance line. In fact, if you think about it, we're actually drawing a line where the Senecal B, which is basically price action for 52 periods, remember that, okay? It's flat for the longest time. That means basically that the low or the high values were never exceeding that for at least 52 periods for a long, long time. So that's months and months and months if you're looking at a daily chart, or that's a very long time for a 2 hour chart. So that's very, very key when you have a flat part, especially that's very, very long for such a long time. You kind of draw a line there, and that will represent a major support resistance line. Okay? Um, Again, here are my contact details. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me through the website. Thank you.